Hi Ben. So your new artwork has just been unveiled as part of the Show Windows programme, which sees artists, architects, designers and makers transforming Coventry city centre's shop windows into portals to fantasy worlds. Inspiration behind this programme is a book about the art of making fantastical window displays in order to mesmerise shoppers and passers-by. And that book's author, L. Frank Baum, went on to write a rather well-known book titled The Wizard of Oz, which your work, Cov's Oz, responds to. Can you tell us about your piece and what it was like to reimagine Coventry in this way?
The project was an interesting to work on, and also presented me with a few challenges, in that a lot of the work that I do on a day-to-day basis involves drawing characters, because I work as an illustrator on children's magazines and picture books and things like that, and there's a lot of characters involved. So one of the problems that I had was to try and approach this in a different way. So I had to draw buildings, but then draw the buildings in my own style, which is, as you'll probably see in the work, is quite naive and it's very simplistic. Fortunately, there are a couple of things in the work which I think, if you are from Coventry and have been there, you will recognise, which is Lady Godiva, which, again, the fact that it's a character and I was able to bring a character into the thing really helped, and kind of helped me focus and became a focal point and a starting point for me to do the work. And the other one, the other recognisable thing in there, I think, is William Mitchell's artwork for the 3 Tons pub, or what was the 3 Tons pub.
So in 2019, your work was featured in a group exhibition at the Herbert Gallery and Art Museum in Coventry. The exhibition was titled Wonder, Where Reality and Imaginary Collide. And for that show, you also created a parallel world that's fantastical, but also a little bit dark. Are these recurring themes that return across your work, or is it Coventry that brings this side out of you?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. Being an illustrator that works on things for children a lot does mean that I'm thinking about those sorts of themes of fantasy, and often those things can be quite dark. I mean, you've only really got to look at the Grimm fairy tales, like not the Disney-fied versions of the fairy tales, but the actual Grimm fairy tales, and how kind of dark they were. And that was a little bit of a jumping point for the work that I did for Wonder. But then, yeah, I suspect that perhaps Coventry brings that out in me as well. Certainly going to the Herbert, and the idea of being able to go and research the work that they've got in their stores, and sort of go behind the curtain, coming back to the Wizard of Oz, and seeing what's kind of hidden that everyday people don't get to see, was exciting, and I think that probably lent itself to that idea of kind of, stepping into another world sort of thing.
Can you show us a favourite item from your studio or workspace? That's
quite tough to do for me, because I tend to hoard things. I collect things. I collect records and toys, and I have a collection of children's picture books. So there's a mass of stuff in this room which I could show lots of different things. The thing that I've chosen to show you, though, is one of the books in my children's books collections, but this one is from when I was a child. I owned this when I was 5 years old, and it's Richard Scarry's The Best Storybook Ever, and it's full of kind of magical things, of animals doing everyday things. There are stories about bears and elephants, and there are pictures of rabbits and what they do in their houses, and I would pore over this book as a child, and I remember it, and I kind of hold it dear, and I'd be fascinated by everything that was going on in there, and every little detail. Perhaps this was one of the things that led me to becoming an illustrator and, you know, doing what I do.